Hi everyone, Dr. Jeff here with you today. Today I thought we'd talk a little bit about bunions. They seem to be coming to the office a little more often these days. What is a bunion? A bunion is when, predominantly is when that big toe starts to kind of bend towards the other toes, and you start to get a lump on the inside of it. It can also happen with your baby toe as well, but more often it happens with the big toe. It's more common in women than men for some reason. We don't understand why. What causes this? Again, we don't really understand why. It used to be thought that because women wore those nice small pointed shoes that squished the toes and caused the bunion. They're not really sure about that anymore. I think it's more hereditary. So if you look at your mother and your mother has a bunion, chances are you may have a bunion. Arthritis can cause as well if you get degenerative arthritis in that joint. Wearing high heels, they used to think caused it. So generally now they think it's more hereditary and arthritis that causes it. Well, what happens? Well, if it gets really bad, what can happen is you get a real inflammation on that bump there, and that can cause a bit of a bursitis, because sitting there you have a little bursa sac that can get inflamed, and when it gets inflamed, it will cause pain and swelling and be really sore. Also, as the bunion gets worse, your toes can be hammer toes. That means your toes are starting to prop up like this, and your toes will start to curl up like this, just because of the way your toes are having to push against each other. The other thing that happens is you get metatarsalgia, and that's where the lump at the bottom, your ball of your foot, will get inflamed. Again, happens because your bones and joints not sitting properly, and you're walking improperly. It gets quite painful. What can you do about it? Well, try and catch it early. If you notice you're getting a bit of a bunion, try and catch it early. Change your shoes, making sure you're wearing shoes that are really pointed, and stay out of high heels as well. Make sure you're getting shoes that have a wide footbed, so there's lots of room in there for your feet to move. You get a bunion pad. So this is a pad that goes between your toes to try and keep that toe a little bit straighter. You can take an anti-inflammatory cream, so Advil or Traumeel or Voltaren, anything like that. A good pair of orthotics will have been found to slow the progression of a bunion. So a good pair of orthotics. And of course, if it's irritated, you can always put ice on it. Ice is always good for inflammation. If you don't take care of it, or if it progresses too far, you can always do surgery. What they do with surgery is they'll go in and they'll take that lump and they'll scrape it. They'll scrape all the bone off. It's quite painful. Or they'll go in and they'll take the bone and they'll break it and they'll realign it. And then generally will put a pin in it to try and stabilize it until the joint settles itself down. Sometimes they take the pin out, sometimes they don't. The other thing they do is they can go in and bring this back and then fuse the joints together. And when they fuse joints together, then you'll lose all motion in that part of the foot, and that causes all sorts of other problems. So ideally what you want to do, if you think you're getting a bunion, look at and catch it early. Make sure you get a good pair of shoes. Look at getting a bunion pad, a good pair of orthotics. Stay out of high-heeled shoes. Stay out of shoes with really pointed toes, and stay on top of it. If you have any questions about bunions, or if you think you have a bunion or anything at all, you can always email me at jgoldsby@goldswills.com. I'm Dr. Jeff, and I've got you back.